You know, you are one of the most annoying people, kitties, I have ever met. Yes, you are. I love you, though. Yes, I do. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Christy, spelled with an E, and I have my trusty sidekick Lucky here with me as always. He knows exactly when I turn that camera on. He wants to be the center of attention, always. I wanted to talk with you about music today. These are my opinions. I just want to get that out of the way first. These are my opinions. You may have differing opinions. If you do, I would love to know them. You can tell me in the comments. I love talking about music with people. Music is such a big part of my life. I absolutely love music. I can't do anything without something musical. As I like to say, everything is musical. If I hear something, if someone says something, if I hear something that reminds me of a piece of music, I sing it. It doesn't matter where I am. If I'm in church, I might be a little more quiet with it and just whisper sing it to the person next to me because, I'm not going to sing out loud in church when, the pastor's talking. That's just not cool. But in the store, in the car, in the kitchen, it doesn't matter. If I'm reminded of a piece of music, I will sing it. And I grew up on classical music. My dad had a sound system in the living room and he had wired speakers into all of our bedrooms so he could control what we listened to. We did not have our own personal music devices, no boom boxes, no radios, no Walkmans, and none of that. That was not allowed. And he would wake us up every morning at 5:30 in the morning, every morning, with the Epsilon Jazz Band's version of Old Lady Leary, complete with fire sirens. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I have tried to find that piece, but I have found that a lot of the music that I grew up with, I cannot find on any streaming platform, YouTube. They don't exist. I can find the vinyl of the Epsilon Jazz Band, but not any recording that I can listen to. And I don't currently have a record player to listen to the few vinyl records that I do have. I don't have a very good collection yet, although I am working on that. I do love collecting vinyl. It's a lot of fun. Of course, it doesn't do me any good if I can't listen to it. But a lot of the music that I grew up with the Cowell Brothers, songs like Someone's Poisoned the Water Hole. Yeah, I can't find that. It's like it doesn't exist. It's crazy. I think part of that is due to the fact that these were smaller, I guess, little hometown bands from the 60s up in Petoskey area in Michigan. I think the Cowell Brothers were from Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. There was another record that I grew up with called Up With People, which was a whole bunch of different groups that got together to put songs on an album. I believe it was war protest songs, again, from the 60s. So I grew up with a lot of older music, and classical music was a big part of my upbringing. That was the main music genre that I was allowed to listen to. And that, I think, gave me a really good foundation for appreciating other music. My favorite piece of classical, well, one of my favorite pieces, there are many. There's Ravel's Bolero, which is absolutely fantastic. Prokofiev, Tchaikovsky. There's many that I enjoy, but one in particular by Franz Liszt is called La Campanella. It's a piece for piano, and it is one of the most metal pieces of classical music that I have heard. It takes the same musical theme and it's played over and over a few times, and each time they go through it, it gets harder each time, and it is absolutely fantastic. If you want to check that out, I will try to remember to put a link in the description so you can check out that song and see what I mean about it. But that is how I grew up. I grew up with classical music. And my cousin Katie introduced me to the Backstreet Boys in the late 90s. Talking like 99, okay? And when I finally discovered Iron Maiden, and yeah, that was not very long ago, which I'm kind of ashamed to say because I absolutely love Iron Maiden, but I had not heard them before. And when I did, the next time I talked to my cousin Katie, and yes, I'm calling you out here, Katie, I asked her, I said, back when we were growing up, did you know Metallica, Iron Maiden? She said, yeah. I said, and you introduced me to the Backstreet Boys? Like, come on now. But one of my favorite pieces of music is Hallowed Be Thy Name by Iron Maiden. It is, I believe, one of the best pieces of music. It's right up there at the top, along with Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody and Alice in Chains' Man in the Box. Those are three of my absolute favorite pieces of music that I could listen to over and over and over and over again forever. They are absolutely amazing pieces if you haven't heard them, although I'm pretty sure most of you have. There are some songs that I only like part of the song. For example, Layla, Derek and the Dominoes. That song, the beginning of it, the first half of it, I like. And the second half seems like a completely different song, and I really don't care for it. So after the first part's over, I'll switch to the next song because I don't care about the rest of it. I know, I'm weird. Another one is Crazy Train by Black Sabbath. I like the beginning riff. That's about the only piece of the song that I like. I think that they should have, don't drink my coffee, should have kept that theme going on in the minor key. They switched to a major key, and it doesn't sound right to me anymore. So I'm biased in that way that I only like the beginning of that song. There was someone did make an epic version using just the opening riff, and I loved that. That was absolutely amazing. And there are some mashups that are pretty good. Back in Black by AC/DC and Stayin' Alive by Journey, right? Those two mashed up is absolutely hilarious, and I can't hear one without thinking of the other now. It's quite funny. There's another one, Robin Skuteris did a version of Moonlight Sonata and Hotel California with some opera thrown in as well. I believe she calls it Moonlight Hotel. That is amazing. The only place I've been able to find that is on YouTube, and I will also, excuse me, try and remember to link that in the description so you can check that out if you would like to, because again, that is a fantastic piece. And of course, I do love my parodies. I love anything that Weird Al has done. There's a song called Cows with Guns, which I think is absolutely hilarious. That is not Weird Al. That is someone else. I'm not sure who does that one, but that one is absolutely hilarious. I love funny music like that. I have a lot of Christmas parodies that I listen to during the holiday season and annoy most everyone around me. In fact, did you know that Black Sabbath's War Pigs, you can sing Deck the Halls to that? Yeah. It's crazy. I think it's fantastic. And there are some things that, I know different pieces of music or different people for different things. For example, someone that I can't stand very much is Axl Rose. His voice it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. And I actually would prefer nails on a chalkboard to listening to his voice because it's so nasally. I was listening to Knocking on Heaven's Door, and I had not heard it before. And I asked my husband, I said, oh, who's the other guy singing? And he's like, what? I'm like, there's two guys singing. Who's the other guy? The one that can actually sing. And he's like, that's Axl. And I'm like, no, I can't. No, Axl is the nasally one. Who's the other? He's like, no, that's Axl Rose. I was like, Well, if he can sing well, why doesn't he do that all the time? I don't know. Beats me. But he does a certain thing when he's singing that I find absolutely hilarious. I call it the snake. Pretend this is a mic stand. I know it's a stick. I brought it from Kentucky. Yes, I did. I like my sticks almost as much as I like my rocks. But for this demonstration, it is a mic stand. So Axl Rose singing Sweet Child of Mine, another song that I just can't really stand. But this is what I'm talking about. Whoa, sweet child of mine. He does that whole snake thing. Another one that is absolutely hilarious to me is Ozzy. When he sings, he does what I call the chicken. When Ozzy sings Paranoid, for example, this is what I see. The chicken. Finished with my woman 'cause she wouldn't help me with my mind. People think I'm depressed because I am frowning all the time. There's the chicken. And of course, we all know that James Hetfield from Metallica has this thing with the yeah, yes. He's always saying yeah in everything. So that's how I recognize James Hetfield is with his yeah, yes. And then if you want to even going back, and most of you probably have no idea who this is because, again, I'm going back into history. Can you not go sit on my table right now, please? But if we go back again, we're going back into the past here with Johnny Mathis, the way that he sang. He did the T-Rex arms. Don't need the mic stand for this one. Johnny Mathis and his T-Rex arms. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I think like I'm walking in a cloud. I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. There's also music that when I hear it reminds me of something else. There's one theme that I have found that runs through a bunch of different songs. And the earliest one, I'm doing these in chronological order here. So the very first version, I guess, of this sound is the Doctor Who theme, because that was started back in the 50s. So the Doctor Who theme. And then Children of the Grave by Black Sabbath, Call Me by Blondie, and Uprising by Muse. They all are basically the same. It's quite interesting to listen and hear that coming, at the same time. I think they should do a mashup of those pieces because that would be something very cool and be very easy to do. There's another one, Ain't Talking About Love by Van Halen. The beginning of that is like an inversion of the Crazy Train riff. It's kind of like a backwards version of that riff. When I heard that for the first time, that was what came to mind. And Jenny Was a Friend of Mine by The Killers. That one reminds me of Holy Diver. If you listen to the beginning of that song, you can sing the beginning of Holy Diver to that. It's absolutely the same almost. It's crazy. But I mean, that's what happens when you have, basically 16 notes to work with. If we're talking about half steps, we're talking about 8 full step notes, to make an octave. Octave means 8. So you've got 8. Another one that I absolutely love is Cemetery Gates by Pantera. That one is fantastic. That one and Walk. Those are my 2 favorite Pantera songs. I like songs from all these different genres, going around. And my favorite guitarists, there are 2 that are up at the top. And I think that Stevie Ray is slightly above Richie Blackmore, but they're fairly similar, at least in my mind. Those are my two favorite guitarists. And I mean, anytime I hear Stevie Ray Vaughan, I go to dancing, whether I'm in the car, doing dishes. It doesn't matter. If Stevie Ray's on, I have to move. His music, he puts so much soul into his music. It radiates. I absolutely love the way that he plays the guitar, because you know that he just put his entire self into that music. What are we doing? Did I tell you you could sit up there? No, I did not. Why are you up there? Because you're a naughty boy. Come sit over here, Purr. Yes, we know. Well, anyways, that's a bit of music talk for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you have another opinion, or you want to tell me a piece of music that I should listen to, or a song that you think I would like, please let me know. I love discovering new music. And if you have watched this video this far, give yourselves a round of applause, having to go around the kitty here. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. And I will catch you all later. Mwah. Toodles. Oh, one more thing before I go. Tomorrow I'm going to Goodwill. Yes, I am. And I will do a kind of a vlog style video with that, so you can see my little outing. Maybe check out what I'm wearing. I don't know if I'll be wearing anything crazy. Probably. Alrighty. Love y'all. Bye.